All right, so get ready because this deep dive is going to be a wild one. We're going deep into a world where respect, it's not something you're just handed, you know?
Yeah.
You got to earn it. We're talking about those tough streets of South London where your rep, your name, it's everything, especially in the world of boxing.
Yeah.
And, we've got a real clash of styles here, a clash of worlds even. On one side, you've got the Whyte brothers. You got Dillian, the heavyweight knockout artist known for ending fights fast.
Right.
And then there's Dean, his older brother. And let's just say he's built a reputation for himself outside the ring, not exactly a choir boys, right?
Yeah.
These guys, they're South London through and through,
Yeah.
Their story, it's all about resilience, clawing their way up from nothing. But here's where it gets interesting. Into this mix, you've got Lawrence Okolie coming in, rising star in the cruiserweight division. And Okolie, he's got this incredible story. I mean, talk about beating the odds. This guy went from flipping burgers at McDonald's to becoming a champion.
That's amazing.
So you've got these two paths to success, two completely different backgrounds, two totally different sets of rules. What happens when their paths collide? I mean, are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So
Because this isn't your typical fight promo buildup.
yeah.
This isn't happening under the bright lights and, cameras flashing. It all goes down in a South London boxing gym.
Oh, okay.
And this place, it's got this certain feel, unspoken rules, expectations hanging in the air, thick with that tension. You can cut it with a knife. So picture this Dean Whyte. He walks into the gym, right? And immediately, everyone feels it. Word on the street is that Okolie's been running his mouth a little bit too much for Dean's liking. I'm talking about the Whyte brothers questioning their reputation. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
Their street cred. And in this world, let me tell you, you don't throw shade like that unless you're ready for some serious fallout, some real consequences.
Right.
And Dean, well, let's just say he's definitely there to make sure Okolie gets the message.
This is not like some Twitter beef, is it?
No.
We're talking real deal, face to face.
Absolutely.
This is the kind of stuff that gets settled old school, no question. So Dean, he doesn't mess around. He goes straight up to Okolie, who's right in the middle of training, no less, and lays it out there. I hear you've been talking about us. Just like that.
Straight to the point. And remember, this is Dean Whyte we're talking about.
Right.
He's not just Dillian's brother.
Yeah.
He's a force in his own right. So when he says those words, it's not an empty threat, not at all. This is a clear sign that disrespect, well, it won't fly here. Not with him.
So what does Okolie do?
Yeah, what does he do?
I mean, does he back down? This isn't just some nobody, some wannabe. He's facing a world champion here.
This is a guy who's fought his way to the top, worked his way up. So Okolie, you got to give him credit. He doesn't back down easy. He's not afraid of a fight, not one bit.
Yeah.
He fires back that, yeah, I respect Dillian. He's a beast in the ring. But the Whytes, you're not untouchable. He basically tells Dean, I earned my spot. Hard work, dedication. That's how I got here. Not by who I know or where I'm from.
See, and that's where those two worlds, they clash.
They really do.
Okolie, he's coming from that classic underdog mentality. Work hard, chase your dreams, achieve them. But Dean's world, it's on another level. It's about respect earned through shared struggle, loyalty, history, things that, in Dean's eyes, Okolie just didn't get. Not yet, at least.
And Dean, how does he respond to this? Not with a flurry of punches, which you might expect in a boxing gym.
Yeah, right.
But with a single measured slap across Okolie's face.
Yeah.
Just one.
Whoa. Okay, that's got to be about way more than just physical pain, right? I mean, that's a statement.
You got it. This isn't about pain. It's a power move. Plain and simple.
Oh, yeah.
Dean's saying, this is my world, and you need to recognize that. Establishing dominance.
That's
Reminding everyone who's in charge. He's showing Okolie that street cred. In this world, it carries a whole different kind of weight.
So there's Okolie, a champ, used to getting respect in the ring, and bam, he's put in his place with a single slap. What's he thinking at that moment?
Oh, there's got to be a battle going on inside him. The urge to fight back, to defend himself, it's got to be intense.
Right, for sure.
But here's where things get interesting. Instead of throwing a punch back, he just stops.
Mm-hmm.
He looks around the room, and nobody's stepping in. It's like they all understand where Dean's coming from.
It's like they're all in on some kind of unspoken code. Even a boxing champion has to respect the rules.
Exactly. Okolie's titles, his achievements, they don't change the fact that he's walked into a place with its own laws, its own pecking order.
Mm-hmm.
And Dean, he makes that crystal clear. He tells Okolie straight up, you might be a champion in that ring, but out here, things are different.
He basically told him, out here, you better show some respect.
Precisely Dean saying, look, Me and Dillian, we've earned our stripes here through hardship, through struggle. Stuff that Okolie, in Dean's eyes, hasn't faced in the same way.
That's got to be a tough pill to swallow, especially for a guy who's climbed his way to the top.
Yeah, it is. So how does Okolie handle it? How do you back down from that kind of confrontation? It's not easy.
Not at all.
Well, Okolie does something really interesting. He seems to get it, the weight of the situation. He realizes he stepped into something bigger than himself, something with a different set of rules.
Okay.
He admits he spoke out of turn, that he didn't really grasp the history, the weight that comes with the Whyte name. He tells Dean basically, "You're right, I was out of line."
Wow, that's a big move. He's swallowing his pride there, recognizing a different kind of authority. That shows real maturity.
Absolutely. And that's what's so fascinating about this whole thing. It challenges our usual ideas about respect and power. Okolie realizes that sometimes the best move isn't to fight fire with fire. It's to understand the rules of the game, show respect where it's due.
Like that saying, pick your battles.
Yeah, exactly. Okolie, he's learning that different worlds, they need different approaches. Sometimes acknowledging someone's position, it's not weakness, it's strength. He's adapting.
So it's not just about winning in the ring, it's about knowing the score outside of it too.
Right. And this isn't just boxing, this is life. We're always navigating these different spaces, each with their own rules, their own hierarchies.
That's so true. So after this confrontation, do things just go back to normal between them? So after this confrontation, do things just go back to normal between them?
They don't. It's not like before, but not in the way you'd think.
Okay.
See, Okolie, he could have just walked away, right? Stewing over it, holding on to that grudge.
Oh, for sure.
But he does the opposite. He starts publicly acknowledging Dillian, giving him props for his wins in the ring. He even shows respect to Dean when they run into each other.
No way. So after that whole blow-up, he actually tries to mend fences.
He does.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this whole thing so interesting. It shows real strength. That willingness to learn and adapt, not just hold on to anger.
That's a powerful lesson right there, even if you're not about to step into the ring. Knowing when to adapt, when to show some respect, that's a skill we could all use more of.
Absolutely. And this whole story, it makes you think, how do we define success? How do we define respect? It's not always about being the loudest person in the room, Sometimes it's about understanding the situation, knowing when to listen and learn.
It's really about reading the room, right?
Exactly. This situation with Okolie and the Whytes, it shows us there are many paths to success, to earning respect. And sometimes those paths, they're completely different, might even seem like they're at odds with each other.
For sure.
But neither one is necessarily better or worse. They're just different. And it's about recognizing those differences and navigating them, being aware and willing to understand where the other person's coming from.
It's like they always say, respect is earned, not given. But figuring out how to earn it, well, that's the real challenge, isn't it?
It really is. So as you go about your day, think about all the different worlds you move through: work, family, friends, even online. Each one's got its own rules, spoken and unspoken, about showing respect. And remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is acknowledge someone else's position, even if it's different from yours.
Yeah.
That's how we start to bridge those gaps, build understanding instead of conflict.
Absolutely.
It's about recognizing that everyone has a story, a journey that brought them to where they are. And sometimes being respectful means just listening to that story, trying to understand it.
This deep dive, it's been about way more than just a dust-up in a boxing gym. It's about power dynamics, the different ways we earn respect, and how crucial it is to understand perspectives different from our own.
Right. And the next time you're in a situation where the rules aren't so clear, take a second to just observe, listen. You might find that the smartest move isn't about winning a fight, but about building a bridge.
That's a great point. So on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into respect, reputation, and the paths we take to find our own versions of success. Until next time, keep exploring those different worlds, and remember, respect, it's a conversation, not a competition.